bodies. So cleansing, very, very important. Next, avoiding exposure to xenohormones as much as we can. Now, they're all around us. So it's really hard to avoid them. Don't feel overwhelmed. You know, sometimes I start thinking about it. I'm human too, and I begin to feel a little bit overwhelmed, and I'm like, wow, you know, they're everywhere. How can we avoid them? Well, just do the best you can. Make the best choices you can each day. Little by little, change how you live. And there are some simple steps you can do to begin that. Number one, choose organic foods, especially if you eat animal care products. Or animal care products, excuse me, animal products. That's dairy and any sort of meat. And that's because we talked about how xenohormones are stored in fat cells. And milk, a lot of fat, dairy products, fat. Even if they're eliminating the fat, it's still in there. Hormones, synthetic hormones, elicit a hormone-like effect. We're ingesting those through non-organic dairy products or meats. They're also fed chemical fertilizer, you know, food with fertilizers and pesticides and herbicides, and then it's concentrated into their fat cells, then we consume it, and then it's stored into our bodies, and as it moves up the food chain, it becomes more and more concentrated. Choose organic whenever possible. Avoid plastics. Number one xenoestrogen, plastics. Never heat your food in plastic. Heating food in plastic leaches it, xenoestrogens, right into your food. Then you're ingesting it. It's going right into your fat cells. And you got to think about cleansing again. So avoid plastics as much as possible. Now, plastics are everywhere in our environment. So when you can, choose BPA-free when possible. Choose glass storage containers when possible, or stainless steel pots and pans, or Pyrex ware to cook in. Next, choose natural feminine care products. Many conventional feminine care products are made from plastics or other chemical toxins, and the vaginal tissue is the most absorbent on the female body. You're sticking a tampon in or something that your body is just absorbing those xenohormones directly right next to your reproductive organs. So something to really consider switching to natural menstrual care products. This includes choosing natural organic body care products. Even the ones sold at health food stores, if you're looking at the ingredients, a lot of them aren't natural and organic. Personally, I like to choose ones that are sold in glass bottles, so they're not being leached. None of the plastic xenoestrogens are leaching into the lotion or whatever you're wanting to use. Like, I like to use just pure organic almond oil that has been stored in glass, and then if I want a different kind of smell or healing benefit, then I just add pure essential oils. Choose organic gardening and yard care practices. If you're spraying, say you have a vegetable garden, you're putting chemical fertilizers and pesticides and herbicides. If you're not doing it organically, then you're consuming these, you're ingesting these, you're breathing these, they're touching your skin, and they're also, whenever you're watering or it rains, it's also running off, it's going into the ground, it's contaminating plants around your garden, and it's running into the streams, which affects fish. Say if you eat fish, you know, you're just it's just adding to the cycle and moving it up the food chain. So choose organic yard care practices whenever possible, and consume adequate amounts of fiber and phytoestrogens foods daily. I get tons of questions like, oh no, I heard flax contains phytoestrogens, and it does. Flax contains lignans, and they're also very high in fiber, and what these do is they actually promote estrogen, healthy estrogen metabolism in the body. So something to consider. Yes, they're a phytoestrogen, but they don't exert that strong of an estrogenic effect, and it's actually been proven through studies that it helps to promote healthy estrogen metabolism by removing bad estrogens from the body. So I think consuming, plenty of ground up flax seeds, flax oil, sesame seeds, and are great ways to promote healthy estrogen balance. Red clover is another one. A red clover infusion is really nourishing and healthful to the body, provides adequate amounts of phytoestrogens that are helping protect us from xenoestrogens and chemical pollution. If you have estrogen dominance and you're really wanting to focus and hone in on ways to balance estrogen and reduce bad estrogens in the body, DIM is a great supplement. DIM promotes healthy estrogen metabolism to remove those bad estrogens from the body. We also need to consider, when we're talking about balancing estrogen, nourishing the endocrine system, and two great superfoods are royal jelly and maca, for they specifically nourish the endocrine system. It's very confusing for the endocrine system and stressful, being bombarded by chemical pollution all day long. It makes it confusing to know what to do when, how to signal the natural cycles in our body to communicate and function properly when it's being told to do something else because we have a xenohormone binding to a receptor site when it should not even be there to begin with. So really aiding the endocrine system is important. And like I said, royal jelly and maca are two great nourishing superfoods for that system in our body. I get this question constantly: what about soy? Everybody's, there's this huge soy debate, and I think there's going to be a soy debate for a long time, and I think that you just have to really make the best decision for yourself. Here at naturalfertilityinfo.com, we don't support the use of soy products or soy estrogen supplements that are sold over the counter to increase estrogen. And the reason is because there are different groups of phytoestrogens. And soy contains isoflavones, and isoflavones are the strongest of all phytoestrogens. And soy contains more isoflavones than other plants. It's more concentrated. Now, the way that soy products are manufactured and processed, they are concentrated. They're concentrating these isoflavones. So if you're consuming soy milk and you're eating soy burgers and you're eating tofu and you're putting soy sauce and you're adding all these different types of soy foods to increase estrogen, or you're just, a vegetarian and trying to get a lot of protein just through the soy alone, there is a chance you could be creating estrogen dominance just because the isoflavones are so concentrated. And so for estrogen supplements that are sold over the counter, and this includes the one that is made from red clover as well, they're extracting the isoflavones in a lab, and they're concentrating it, and they're putting it in a pill or a capsule or a cream, and then you're ingesting very high amounts of concentrated isoflavones. And in my experience, I have seen this actually cause more hormonal imbalance and confusion in the body. And then you're dealing with having to figure out how to eliminate that and how to balance the system back out. Like I said, we've been consuming phytoestrogens daily in our diet for thousands and thousands of years. Eating a whole food, nutrient-dense diet that is full of whole grains, dark leafy greens, fruits and vegetables, seeds and nuts. These are great ways to just promote healthy hormonal balance and getting a lot of fiber so that you're eliminating bad estrogens and providing healthy estrogen metabolism within the body. I I know this is probably going to bring up a lot more questions. Maybe you guys have some comments. Please post them to this video. Please also check out the links below to useful articles which may answer some of the questions you have. I've broken down endogenous estrogen, xenoestrogens, and phytoestrogens in the estrogen fertility guide that recently came out last week. So please go to those links. Tell us your experiences. If you've tried any soy supplement estrogen products, do you consume phytoestrogens daily? Do you have an estrogen dominant condition? These are all things to think about. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you learned something new.